We can't afford any curses. I had a couple of dealings with curses, having played so much Baldur's Gate 3 the last couple of days. What spell takes away a curse?
Remove curse or greater restoration.
Greater restoration. That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good game. It should be game of the year.
It will be game of the year. I played what was the New Zelda game that came out recently? Tears of the Kingdom. I played that for a while, and that was certainly good. But I think this type of game is definitely my type of game. Just the dialogue, the choices, the fucking it's so dank.
It's so deep.
It's so dank. It's so dank.
I thought I thought Act 1 is Act 1, and I thought the Underdark and maybe the Mountain Road would be like Act 2 split. But where I'm at now, I consider the Underdark and the Mountain Road, that's Act 1 shit still. Like that doesn't count as Act 2. Act 2 just like expands it so much, and like you just you lift up a little rock, and it's just like you're gone for 6 hours. You just turn a little rock over and you're gone for 6 hours. Like it's silly. It's silly how deep this game is.
It's amazing. Should we just change this channel to just be a BG3 podcast channel?
Yes. I feel like we missed a step. We should have done it a year ago. We should have done it at the same time we started this podcast. We should have been doing a Baldur's Gate 3 podcast, and we'd be peaking right now.
There's a dude called.
You'd still be the expert.
I'd still be the expert. Yeah. There's a dude on YouTube called Wolfheart, and he's been covering the game since the early access first came out, just grinding. And I remember seeing his videos like 2 years into early access, and him being burnt out by just this game's never coming out. He's churning out a video every single week, and now he's rolling in gold.
Yeah, he's gold. He's got views coming out the yin yang. Wolfheart FPS. Yeah, I've seen this guy.
Yeah, shout out to Wolfheart.
Shout out to Larian Studios, you beautiful Belgian people. Do you remember when we went to Belgium?
Yes.
Kortrijk. Where did you stay that night? Because I'm pretty sure I stayed in Ghent when we saw King Gizzard. Where did you stay?
I think we got the train back.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I think we were in Brussels.
Yeah, or Antwerp maybe. One of those main cities.
Yeah, we got the train in and the train back, and fuck, that was a crazy night seeing King Gizzard in the middle of fucking nowhere.
In the middle of Kortrijk, the middle of nowhere, fucking Belgium. That was random as fuck.
That was random. That was a good trip when we were young.
Ghent would have made more sense. Welcome to another episode of Just the Tip. I'm your host, Mike. Join with me, as always.
Always.
How you doing? As always.
I'm doing good. I think maybe when we first start coming out with merchandise, I think as always needs to be, or just join with me as always. Just should be on a shirt.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm doing great. Thanks.
I don't know why I started saying that, but I did. What fuck? This merch idea just threw me for a loop. What the fuck was I going to say?
Well, maybe this. I'm always here, which I am always here.
You are always here. I try to always be here. I think I missed an episode when I was in Tasmania. I was literally on the top of Cradle Mountain, and I think that was a finals match as well. I think the Raiders were playing. I can't remember. All I remember about that weekend is the Raiders got bumped out, and that was a tip I missed. And looking like the Raiders are going to get bumped out again, but I guess we'll get to it. What's next?
You tell me, man. You're the host. I understand it's weird not having Ben just like interrupting us all the time.
It is weird. Yeah. I feel like he fills the void when I've got nothing to say because he's already interrupted me before I have nothing to say. I've already been interrupted.
That's right. What I want to know is like how much of our what percentage of our content is us just getting angry at Ben?
Probably a lot. I would say quite a bit.
10%? Maybe
15%. 50. I would say 50%.
50%. That's
50%.
That's a lot. That's
high.
I think that's because I mean I'd say 50% of it is talking about rugby league, in the middle chunk.
Yeah.
And then I'd say maybe about 20% comments. But yeah, just like sprinkling, it's all spread all throughout the videos.
Yeah. Yeah, 10 I feel is fair. Maybe more, I guess now I'm thinking about it, maybe more like 23 to 24%.
Okay, all right. I'm happy with 23. I'm happy with 23%.
Oh, let's have a look. What do we did? We all did last week. You got a perfect round.
I got a perfect round. I know I said I was going to tip the Raiders last week, and I flippity flopped.
I'm mad at you.
Yeah,
What made you flop?
Just the more I thought about the game, the more I thought about the weekend previously, the Raiders. Did they play the Tigers? I think it was the Tigers the week before, and they had a pretty poor game. They got the win, but hold on, let me just double check. Yeah, they got the win against the Tigers, but they played really poorly. And they had that debutant Ethan Strange in the centers, and I think Seb Chris was gone, and I was just like, oh, it seems a bit risky. They're not in great form. Decided to swap, and they got slapped.
They got pumped. I didn't watch the game. I looked at like the fantasy score afterwards and looked at it. It was like what, like 48-2, something like that.
Yes, I think it was.
Yikes! Yeah. I was like, yikes, Matt. And then I checked the tipping. And I was like, you son of a bitch.
Well, I'm glad it was a boring week for tips last week. All the favorites won. It was the week to tip all the favorites because Benjamin, he's still in front in our tipping competition. He tipped all the favorites, and if you miss out on those extra 2 points for getting a perfect round, it hurts. So I'm glad I did.
It does absolutely hurt, and I'm perpetually in 7th somehow. Harry's bumped up to 5th. Congratulations, Harry.
Yeah, good. Yeah, shout out to Harry Robinson.
I feel like I'm low audience. I feel like I'm a little bit low on the NRL this week. I'm sure I'll come back because I got bounced out of the fantasy competition this weekend. I lost by like 3 points.
I'm sorry.
The Balimba Cavoodles, they're out. I eked my way into the top 8 and I got yeeted out immediately. So
yeah, you similar to the Titans maybe. I can't remember how many years ago. Remember when we scraped in and then we lost to the Roosters by very tight circumstances? Yeah. Very similar situation.
We were talking. Weren't we talking about that with Jess recently? And Jess was like, you guys were at your place watching the game, and my mum was moving into state, so I had to have a dinner. And I was with Jess and my mum, and I teed up the dinner for the Mexican place next to the Sporting Globe, and I was like, cool. 2 birds, 1 stone. I can watch the game, and then go over to the Mexican. And the game ran long, and they were like, "It's time for our reservation. It's time to go." And there was like 5 minutes left, and I was like, "I can't leave right now." And there's a photo of me just doing this at the Mexican restaurant. I've got like a sombrero on, and I'm just like, oh, I'll try and find that and send it to you. I'm just like so mad or just upset. Like, fuck me. So I'm on the way back up. I got yeeted out, but I'm on the way back up. So if I'm down, that's why I'm down. But we all took the Penrith Panthers. We'll see whether or not we're taking this week. We'll see. We all took the Sharks. A couple people in our comp didn't take the Sharks, but yeah, fuck them. Remember when Tristan was on top?
Yeah, geez, and back in the early days.
I wish he still was. Jeff took the Eels, so thusly the Broncos pump him, and Mitchell Moses breaks his jaw. That's what happens, Jeff.
Yeah, it was. I think it was a fractured eye socket. Eye socket, I think it was.
Fucked. We all, more or less, all of us took like fucking Axel is swinging down there at the bottom, isn't he? We all took the Rabbitohs. Axel took the Dragons for some reason. We all took the Wars. Every single one of us took the Wars. That's good. Took the Roosters. I didn't feel good about it, but they got revenge for round 1. That's good shit. I was the only one to take the Raiders, more or less.
I'm sorry, I led you astray.
That's rough. That's real rough. Ricky, I was there with Ricky in spirit, and I'm just embarrassed at the press conference. This is just embarrassing, and I'm embarrassed for our club and everybody around us. And the only game, not the only game, but the only Sunday game that I watched over the weekend was the Knights Bulldogs, because I had vested fantasy interest in it. Knights absolutely fucking pumped the Dogs. Did the Dogs get a couple of tries towards the end? Because if the scoreline is even a little bit flattering, it shouldn't be. The Knights are looking red hot. The Knights are peaking right now where they should be peaking towards the end of the season. I'm interested to see how they go in the finals, should they make it, and I think that they will.
Well, they're in there at the moment. They're in at 7th, and they've got that odd number of points because that draw they had with Manly earlier in the season, which probably puts them in a good little spot there.
That'll be it. Yeah.
And they've got a good run. They've got a great run to end the year. This week, which we'll get to, is going to be an interesting game.
Very, very interesting. And yeah, I mean, if we weren't doing a meme, I'd say that was the game of the round. And then, we'll get to it. There's a good dichotomy on Sunday. The only NRL news I can think of this week is Tino re-signing for 10 years. Hang on, wait, where's my fucking... Okay.
Yeah. Look at that.
Tino re-signing for 10 years. I think the rugby league guru said it didn't matter what happened. We made the biggest win before kickoff. Tino re-signs for 10 years. His body will probably break over time, and then he'll go to another club after 5. But that's fine. I would have taken 5 years. 10 seems excessive.
Pretty excessive.
Pretty excessive, but I'll take it.
Fifita also extends, so that's great.
Yeah, how long did Fifita extend for? All I know is Tino
3 years.
3 years. That's fine. We'll take that. We take that. I'm really excited to see what happens next season under Des Hasler.
Yeah. What's up?
I was going to say, what's the bet it goes to shit again?
Well, there's always a good chance of that. There's always a good chance. But yeah, I think we're ramping up for next season at the cost of this season, which we'll get to when we preview the game of the round in pretty soon. But so is that all the news you have? Because I got news.
Yeah, go.
Okay, well, not sure if you've seen this. Well, speaking of extending and signing, Payne Haas reportedly extending for 3 years at Brisbane.
Really?
Extending his contract. So he was signed until the end of next year, but he's extending for another 3 years. Reportedly, $3.5 million over 3 years. So that's around about $1.16 million a year. So I think I'm happy with that. Happy with that money.
Yeah, that's good money for Payne Haas, and he's the best prop in the game. So I think that's worth it, right?
Absolutely.
He plays prop, right?
He sure does. Yeah.
Cool.
And yeah,
I'm never 100% sure on the numbers and the position names because they're all named something different, and it wigs me out. Sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, 3 years, reasonable extension. Tino 10 years, maybe a bit of Talolo about that. But good for the Broncos, even though I wish them nothing but horrific injuries. So that happened. Also this week, I'm gonna ramp up to the best news of the week that I feel like that you'll enjoy. So also we've had 2 veterans announce their retirements at the end of the season. Jared Croker, Wade Graham, both hanging up the boots. Jared Croker, he's played over 300 games now for Canberra. I think so.
Yeah. Maybe 302 this weekend.
Might be 302. All of those for Canberra. So yeah, good for him. He's had a good career. Wade Graham, he needs 7 more games to reach 300 games. So he's played for Penrith for a little bit and then mostly Cronulla. That would only happen. He would only get 7 games if they played all 4 weeks of the finals. So went to the grand final, but also, you know how if you finish top 4 and you win first week, you get the second week off.
Yeah,
Can't
Sharks have got to throw that game.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, if they make top 4, but so shout out to those fellas.
Yeah, good stuff.
Now the big news, which I want to get your thoughts on.
Yes,
Tavita Pangai Jr.
Really?
Have you heard about this?
No, I'm not prepared today. Like I said, do you want me to be prepared or have good vibes? My vibes are up there.
You just bring some vibes. Okay. Yeah. All right. So Tavita Pangai Jr. reportedly is quitting the NRL at the end of this year to take up boxing.
Yes, that's a good move, bro. He's no good at footy. He's probably going to get fucking pushed to the side of the Dogs, right? Have they got more forwards coming in next year?
I know they've signed a few backs. I can't remember if they signed any forwards though. But
it always sucks. Man, it always sucks when we lose a meme player.
I know. Yeah. Well, one of the greats in our most discussed players. I would say he's probably top 5 most discussed players for us.
It's gonna make me sad. I didn't know that. I'm so not on the pulse. I didn't even know Payne Haas re-signed, but yeah, it's right here. Oh, that's good. Who do you think he's gonna fight? Is that no? I think Nas, Nelson Asafa Solomona. Nailed it. I think he is signed up to do some boxing in the off season. I saw, and they're looking at Jared Wallace. To fight
as his
him.
Opponent.
Yeah.
I would not want to fight Nelson.
I wouldn't want to fight Nelson either, dude. Even if I was Jared Wallace, I'd be like, no, dude. I'll take TPJ.
The man's an absolute monster. Half giant in all respects.
He's like Andre the Giant out of fucking, what's that movie? Princess
Princess
Buttercup?
Bride.
Yeah, Princess Bride.
Princess Buttercup.
Great movie. Saw that at the cinema recently.
Yeah, but TPJ. I mean, fuck. Only a couple months ago, playing for New South Wales.
Exactly. And now he's
quitting.
He was starting for New South Wales, wasn't he?
He started. Oh God.
New South Wales is a mess, dude.
Hey, we want to know, baby. Want to know.
Want to know.
So he's 27 years old. He's played 136 NRL games for Penrith. So Brisbane, then Penrith, then the Bulldogs. 6 games for Tonga, 1 game for New South Wales, and now he's gone. So I wish him nothing but the best. Tavita, yeah, talented but not cut out for it.
Yeah, that's true. He loves an offload, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Guy loves it. Guy loves an offload. The ad flashing is making my face flash different colors. It's annoying me. Do you want to quickly touch on the Matildas and
yes.
their charge towards a public holiday? I was doing the math, and if Albo holds up his end of the deal, this public holiday is going to be Monday. Because Tillies, they won. They beat France. Fuck France. Fuck the Frogs. Fuck anyone that's even tasted a croissant. Fuck yous.
Yeah, fuck you, Stephen.
Yeah. To the end of the earth. Fuck you. What was I going to say? So a couple of things I want to get off my chest. First thing, quick turnaround for soccer players. Like, they played on Saturday and they've got another game tomorrow. And then if they beat England tomorrow, which they will, because English people don't understand sport.
Yeah, they don't get Origin.
They don't get Origin. They really don't. If they beat England, and then the grand final is on Sunday, so it makes sense for the public holiday to be on Monday, right?
Yes.
Unless he pushes it back a week for like a celebration week, but we're gonna be hungover as fuck if they make it to the grand final.
It'll be the next day, and my boss is going to be like, "Why aren't you answering the phone?" And I'm like, "Well,
why is your phone diverted back to my phone?"
Yeah, what's going on here? Man, well, I'm excited. I really hope I'll be watching that game. Yeah, so we're recording this Tuesday. So on Wednesday night, I've got my screens on here, my computer. I'm gonna have Baldur's Gate here. I'm gonna have the Matildas here, and I'm gonna have, I don't know, something over here. And I'm gonna have a great night. I really hope we win. England, they're I believe one of the top teams for the women's game. They're generally always competitive in men's and women's football. First time, I believe, yes, a men's or women's team has ever been to a semi-final in the World Cup. And
the Australian, so good.
Yeah. Have you paid attention much to like that game on the weekend? Did you watch the penalty shootout at least? Or the highlights of it?
I didn't know. We were playing Baldur's Gate 3 multiplayer, you and I.
We were. But I watched the which was a great game, by the way. I had a great time.
Very deep.
But I watched the whole the penalty shootout in particular, and it was so fucking dramatic. It was so good. Apparently, the longest penalty shootout of all time, at least in women's.
Yeah.
They took, I think, was it 20 shots?
I think in a World Cup is what I heard today on the Hello Sport podcast. It was the most in a World Cup.
Yeah, gotcha. But it was incredible. And I think we were kicking second. So like every time France would go up, and the pressure was on us to kick. And we got a couple lucky like misses. There was one when like our goalkeeper went left and the French player kicked it right, and it was about to go in and just hit the post. It would have been us out. We got a bit of luck there, but
so dramatic. The other thing I wanted to get off my chest with the Matildas is that if I had watched that game, all right, and I was planning on it, I thought about it. I asked Jess, "Do you want to watch this game?" Well, actually, no, I'm going to play Baldur's Gate 3 multiplayer. We started at 2. Yeah, so I was like, well, that's me for the night. It started at 5, and I think it finished at like 8:30, 9 o'clock, didn't it? Because we were still playing, and outside, because I live in Brisbane, outside was exploding. Like there were fireworks, my neighbors were cheering and going up and down the street and shit. And I was like, what the fuck happens? And Mitch, who was in our chat, lives over near Suncorp. I was like, Mitch, is it blowing up over there? He's like, yeah, yeah, something's happening over here for sure. Yeah.
Something's
and I was
happening.
like, the Matildas must have won or something. And yeah, terrific. One game closer to that public holiday, which I'm so excited for.
So yeah, we're against England, and I think on the other side, I think it's Spain and Sweden.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, both.
I think
they should be tough as well.
Spain are the favourites for that one, I think. But Sweden, no slouches. Sweden took out America, I think. So
I think they're on right. That's Spain and Sweden's on right now.
I think that's right
as
now.
We speak. Yeah.
What's the score?
0-0. Don't we love soccer?
And that's another thing as well. To my previous point, if I'd been watching it since 5 and it was 0-0 and then it went to the longest penalty shootout of all time, I would be dirty. Like that's 2 rugby league games back to back. I would be so mad.
Yeah, you would have missed out on some good BG3 time, but
yeah, exactly.
That's all right. You can just go on YouTube and just watch the penalty shootout highlights.
That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna watch the KO mini on this one.
That's all right.
Should we get some tipping? Should we do some?
I could tip.
Let's tip.
I could tip.
We could do some tip. Thursday night, not tomorrow night. Man, it feels weird doing this on Tuesday, ain't it? Did we do it? We did it on Tuesday last week. Thursday night, 7:50 p.m. Cowboys at home versing the Sharks. The Sharks are on the upswing right now. I think if they are going to make the 8, they're going to need to beat the Doys here. And if the Titans can beat the Doys, the Sharks can beat the Doys. Who we got in? Jane Beryl, is he back at 9? No, Blake Brayley. So. Beryl's on the bench. Sorry, my bad. I just see his blonde hair in my head from the fantasy app, and I'm like, you're a cheap hooker. I might buy you. Tamo on the bench. Nanai rather is back in.
Yep, that's right. Felt's on the wing. Taulagi goes to the centers. Tamalolo plays his 250th game.
Wow, that's a lot.
Good for you, Tamalolo.
Tamalolo. Sorry, I thought you said Murray Taulagi.
Yeah, no, Taulagi center. Tamalolo's playing his 250th. Yeah, I think he's about 31. Not sure if he'll get to 300. He might. He seems like he's starting to break down, Lolo.
Yeah, a little bit. It's painful to watch. Hope Tino doesn't turn out like that. Holy shit. You put that thought into my head now. That's a little bit of Tamalolo deal, and I can't unthink that. Who you got for this one? The Sharks are the underdogs here, and I don't think that's fair. I think the Sharks have a really good chance, and there's potential value here. Who you got for this one? What do you think? Walk me through it.
Well, it's interesting that the Cowboys are the favorites. I would say probably just because they are the home side. Because generally, I think it's good to tip on recent form. The Cowboys are in 9th. They've dropped out of the 8th, so they're going to be desperate to win this game. But yeah, as you said, the Sharks, they're on a bit of an upswing now. Got a bit of a point to prove after a lot of people were saying that they're cooked. They're done. They're not going to make the finals. Cronulla do have a pretty good record against North Queensland. They've won 13 of the last 16 games going back to 2016. Obviously, that's not recent form, but I thought it was interesting to note. Even though it's Taumalolo's milestone match, and the Cows are coming off a bye as well, that's something also to consider. I feel like the Sharks are gaining momentum at the right time of the season, and I have them winning by 6 points. But I think this is the game which could determine some perfect rounds this weekend.
Yeah, I agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. Then I feel like the locker rooms before this game are going to be, the coaches are going to be saying exactly the same thing. It's going to be like, this is it. What do you want that jersey to represent? What do you want this season to be representative of? How are you going to feel at the end of it? Go out there and fucking do the thing.
Yeah, so you're on the Sharks as well.
I am going to take the Sharks for this one, but I might do a little flippy floppy. But yeah, I just feel like the Sharks are a better shot here for sure. Next game, we have got the Waz at home again.
They're in
Tigers.
This is Warriors and Seagulls at Daniel Sanderson Stadium in Auckland.
Oh fuck! Who the fuck is Daniel Anderson?
This is Daniel Sanderson.
Are you sure? No, it says Daniel Anderson.
Does it? Oh, sorry.
Yeah. I'm saying
you're right.
Too much Anderson for it to be a typo. Who's this guy?
Is it wait. Oh, the venue's been renamed Daniel Anderson for a special round. Oh, I see.
Oh.
I see. So who is this? For the one-time New Zealand Warriors, Parramatta St Helens, and New Zealand coach, he suffered a catastrophic spinal cord injury late last year following a body
Yikes.
surfing accident and is in rehabilitation. I
All
see.
right.
So it's to help raise, dedicated to him, raise funds for him.
Yeah.
Okay. Shout
Don't be
out to you,
body
Daniel
don't be body
Anderson.
surfing, everybody. It's a nonsensical sport. You're just gonna snap your spine.
Wow. Wow. On this of
What?
all days.
What are you eating?
Some chocolate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I gotta
We should have
I
both been eating this entire time.
yeah, just apples. I've self-diagnosed myself with low blood sugar
Okay.
using WebMD.
Yeah.
And so ever since then I've been whenever I feel like if the symptoms coming on, I try to eat something a bit sweet, either some chocolate or maybe some peanut butter, and it fucking makes me right as rain. So it's working so far.
What are the symptoms?
I get like heart palpitations. That's the biggest
Okay.
one. Yeah. Heart palpitations, hot and cold, like temperature changes. Those are the
Okay.
two major ones.
Is that like
Yeah.
diabetes? Diabetes?
Yeah. It might be something related to that.
Okay.
Diabetes, low blood sugar, that sort of thing. Yeah. So I should probably get myself checked out. But as we both are, we're men.
Yeah, it's true. I'm
Okay.
not doing that.
I'm just gonna die in the toilet at the age of 35, like all good men do.
Yeah, sometimes I'll do 2 shits a day and then I'll go like 3 days without doing a shit at all. And I'm like, that's fine. That's fine.
That's
I went to
fine.
the
That's
doctor
fine.
recently and he was like, do you have what's it called? Did you have diarrhea or were you what's when you're blocked up? What's it called?
Constipated.
Yeah, were you diarrhea or constipated? I was just like, well, sort of both in the same day.
Very good. It's coming out, but it's not coming out at the same time.
Yeah. I got the Waz for this one. I think the Manly Sea Eagles. Cue in the rack stuff for Manly, I think. I couldn't even tell you what Manly did last week. They got pumped by the Panthers, didn't they?
They got beaten by the Panthers, but it certainly wasn't humping.
It wasn't humping. It was
No.
fair go.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
pretty competitive.
I wouldn't be surprised if Manly come. There's value in Manly at $4.25. I wouldn't be surprised if they get up for this one, but I am going to pick the favorite for this one. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, spoilers, I will be tipping the Warriors in this game.
Yeah.
Manly, they actually used to have a very dominant record against New Zealand in the early 2010s, but those days are gone now. The Warriors are on a tear. They also get Nickel Klukstar back from his concussion layoff. Wade Egan's been named, despite spending the weekend in a hospital with, I think, a throat injury. But they lose Mitch Barnett. I think he got like a cut on his leg. I'm not sure. It must have been a really bad cut that he's not playing.
Yeah.
But for Manly, Harper comes into the centers and the slug Tuolungi goes to the edge because I think they lose Brad Parker and Burbo.
Speaking of Baldur's Gate, we got ourselves a Harper here.
Yeah, we got ourselves a fucking BG3 on the brain, man.
Yeah.
I gotta fight that hag. I think Manly put up a fight in this game because I don't know if there's mathematically can still make the finals. I'd say it's probably unlikely, but I say Warriors win. I'll go Warriors by 4 points. I'll say it'll be close.
That's fair. Yeah. Next game, we've got the Parramatta Eels, who, speaking probably mathematically not making the 8. I'm sure they can, but they've dipped out, man. Imagine being an Eels fan. Could you imagine?
Yeah, it'd be a harsh life.
Like for us, the door hasn't opened yet for us, but like that door was open and that trophy was right there last year. And now you're out front the club. You can't get through the doors. We've used that metaphor before for sure, but
yeah, they've been kicked out of the club.
They've been kicked out of the club, and that fucking sucks, bro. That's bad.
Yep.
And what a time for the Roosters to be on the upswing. Have they got anyone back in? No, their halves are a little weird, right? Luke Keary, Drew Hutchison. No, they did the job last week. What am I thinking?
Drew Hutchison scored 102 fantasy points.
That's good shit.
He scored 2 tries and broke 12 tackles.
Jesus Christ, that's a
in
lot.
that game. Yeah, he was going well. The baby wizard, Sam Walker, he's 18th man.
Yeah, he's coming. He's coming in.
But I don't think he's going to replace Drew Hutchison. I think he's benchy at best, if that. Yeah. So
yeah,
I can't see him playing. But they get Angus Crichton back as well from his knee injury. But yeah, as we said,
knee injury.
Yes, his psychedelic breakdown.
Yeah.
But for the Eels, yeah, we said earlier, Mitch Moses, he's probably gone for the rest of the season with his fractured eye socket.
Been named? No.
No. I think they said 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So the only way for him to play would probably be grand final if they make it there, which they won't. So yeah, RC and Dylan Brown are the halves. They get Micah Siva and Regan Campbell-Gillard back from suspension. They also lose Andrew Davey. I'm going with the Roosters, and I'm sure you probably are as well. Parramatta, they're declining. Roosters are inclining. I think, as our dear friend Elliot said a couple of weeks ago, the Roosters win every single game for the regular season until the last game against the Rabbitohs when they lose and don't make the finals because of that. So I'll say Roosters win this one by 12 points.
Yeah, that's fair. And I think this will really make the Parramatta fans sad, this one. This will really be like the boot in the gut.
Mm-hmm.
What are we doing with this next game?
Great question. I'd love to talk about this one.
The West Tigers, for the first time all year, are the favourites, paying $1.34 against the Dolphins. $1.34. That's nuts. It should not be that much. It should be like $3.30 each.
That's Panthers money.
That's Panthers money. Yeah. Why? I'm not seeing a lot of good ins. I'm seeing all benchies.
I can tell you why. Because for the Dolphins, there are mass changes. So they've lost the Hammer, Lemuelu, and Kenny Bromwich, all to concussion. They're also lost Marshall King, likely gone for the year after aggravating a shoulder injury. They've also lost Ray Stone. So
that's pretty much their whole side.
Huge changes and a lot of top tier players in there. So I'd say that's probably the reason why Tigers are favorites. And also Tigers, they pushed the Warriors like really far last week. They only lost by, I think, 4 points in the end.
Yeah.
And their halves combo of Luke Brooks and Dane Laurie, who was very good in that game.
I love Dane Laurie.
The coach has said that he's likely going to stick with that combo for the rest of the year, see how it goes. But even though Luke Brooks is leaving.
And Dane Laurie is also leaving.
Yeah, that's wow.
Seems like an odd choice.
Sorry, Tigers fans.
They as soon as it starts working, yeah.
they want to win games.
Oh, that's so Tigers.
Yeah, yeah. We're gonna try out this year's halves come for the next 3 games. But the Tigers, they've lost 10 games in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Last time they won was, I think, when they beat the Cowboys by that huge margin all those weeks ago. And they've been competitive. But they've been
in it. Like they're probably the most unlucky team this year. They've just they've been fine in some games, not all games, but they've been fine in some games and just sort of been unlucky.
That's right. There's that saying in rugby league, sometimes a team forgets how to win.
Yeah. And these guys have no fucking idea.
I think they've forgotten how to win. That's why I think they win this game. This is the perfect opportunity with the Dolphins depleted for them to snag a win and break the 10-game losing streak. But I think if they do win, they flounder their way to the win. I think they win by 1 point.
Yeah, I think maybe even like the bet would be Tigers plus 20 at halftime, and then Tigers by 6 or less full time.
Mm-hmm.
That might be the bet. That might be an actual. You can probably bet the house on that one.
I like that.
Dude, I don't know. I don't know about taking the Tigers here. I think Sportsbet's trying to
trick you,
trying to get in our heads here. Like Wayne Bennett and his Dolphins, they're so they're stalwart. You know, they're not flashy attacking teams like Titans or maybe the Roosters or what the Knights are, sort of flashy attacky teams. The Dogs can be sort of as well. They're sort of defensive in my head. I don't know. I don't know. I feel I feel like the Dolphins do have a bigger shot than $3.30, even without all their main stars. Like SOS is back. Cody Nicorima's a fine fullback. Jermaine Asako can turn it on when he needs to. Tessie New, one of my co-workers went to the Dolphins captain's run a couple of weeks ago and got all the players to sign his jersey. He said everybody was really nice except Tessie New.
Really?
Tessie New was a jerk.
A jerk? Does he have like an example?
He was just very rude and not very like accommodating and not friendly and didn't want to talk to anyone. It was just, I think it was probably the week he got dropped, maybe.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe. Yeah.
Now Val's been dropped to make way for him. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm not going to take the Dolphins, but I want to. And I wouldn't begrudge anyone watching this to take the Dolphins. Tell me in the comments whether or not I should take the Dolphins.
Well, as a great man once said, a great absent man, you should tip who you think is going to win. So who do you think is going to win?
I could see the Dolphins winning this one. I really could. Yeah, fuck it. I'll tip the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Dolphins in. Yeah.
The question is, who do you think that Benjamin is going to tip in this game? User tips 62% Dolphins. He's going favorites, isn't he?
He's going favorites for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Sure. What's Combank?
Yeah, it's a Combank.
It's in Parramatta, Combank?
Yeah, or at least Western Sydney. I know that for sure.
It's not at Leichhardt. That's a bad omen. What's the other one? Avalon, I think. It's a bad omen for the Tigers.
Oh, Campbelltown.
Yeah, it should be at one of those. It shouldn't be a fucking Combank.
It's going to be packed crowd for this one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm on the Tigers.
$9.30 the Titans are paying against the Panthers. That's not enough.
It's funny Sportsbet says that because this, my friend, is the game of the round.
It's going to be a tight one.
It's going to be a fucking banger.
I went to the pub after work this afternoon. I was just like, okay, cool. I'll just flick through these teams. And I got to the Titans team list. I'm like, what is happening? What is this team?
2024, Mike. 2024.
Kino Kini. Kino Kini is coming into fullback spot. Fucking the wings and centers, fine. Jaden Campbell is playing 6, which I guess makes sense because Foz is injured, out for the rest of the season. Foz?
For and out short term, Tanner Boyd is gone for the season to get like the same thing that Sam Verrills did. So he's getting a surgery to be ready to have a good off season. So him and Aaron Clark are both gone for the rest of the year to prep for next year.
Yeah, I saw the Tanner Boyd thing, and I don't remember like reading anything about it during the week. Like I saw it this afternoon, and I couldn't remember him injuring himself on the game on the weekend. Hey, so it's like it's an elective thing.
I think it's an elective thing. I think it's something that's probably been bothering him and a couple of players for a while, and they've said, you know what, let's just get it done now, so you get as much of an off season as possible.
Preseason in, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, yeah, Q and the rack stuff here for the Titans.
But
yeah, go.
Debutant. We've got a debutant.
Who is it?
Thomas Weaver is debuting at halfback. Thomas Weaver played for the New South Wales under-19 side this year, and he went really well.
Tommy Weaver, he's playing great in Q Cup.
Tommy Weaver.
I thought he had debuted.
No, this is it. Against the Panthers of all teams.
Really? That sucks, dude. That's trial by fire. That might give him the yips for the rest of his season.
I think, and I've noticed a few clubs do this. They debut players against really good teams because there's no pressure on the player to perform in that situation.
Yeah.
Because they're just like, listen, just do your best. And like, so if they go poorly, no commentators or reporters are going to be like, oh, that guy was shit because, oh, fuck, they played the Panthers. Like, what do you expect?
Yeah, exactly. Being there, that's fun. It's like a little underage halves combo that we've got there. Oh, Jaden Campbell, that's our 2027 halves combo right there, maybe.
Our great. Jaden Campbell, Thomas Weaver, and Keanu Keeney are 6, 7, and 1. At the start of the year, at the start of each week, I start to roughly think about my tips. And at the time, I was like, I reckon Titans put up a fight here. They just got thumped by Cronulla. And I feel like they're back home. They've been playing pretty well at home this year. So I thought they were going to put in a good performance. I think it was going to be, I was thinking maybe like Panthers win 8 to 10 points, something like that. And now I'm thinking, I think we're going to be in this game early. I think we're going to be in the game early, but it's going to eventually start falling apart against the best team of the last 3 years. I'll say Panthers win by 20 points in this one.
I'm thinking more like 40. I'm taking my fiance and her father to this game because I'm taking yours and the Grey Queefs tickets.
That's right.
I wish I didn't. Kind of wish I didn't offer that. Kind of wish I just said, no, there's no home game this weekend.
Free tickets for them, right? Free tickets for them.
Yeah, and they love it.
Good seats. They'll have a good time.
They love the spectacle, and I kind of want to yell out to Jerome Luai and tell him that I love him. I thought he was sick. He's been named, right? I thought he was unwell and not coming.
He was unwell last week.
Oh, so he was unwell, so he's playing this week.
Yeah, he's back in. Mitch Kenny back in as well. Tyrone Peachy as well, playing his old club. Your Jess and her dad, are they the kind of people that would like order the wine at the bar, like a little glass of wine?
No, I don't think so. Jess would definitely have a seltzer, I think.
Yep.
And I think the last time I went with her dad, I came back with 4 beers. I drank my 2, came back with another 4, and like gave the other 2 to her dad, and he was struggling to keep up with me.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
If I recall, I think he left a full one there.
He ain't got what it takes.
He ain't got what it takes. But that's okay. It's all right. It's a working man sport. It's fine. It's a low class sport. Sorry, he works. It's low brow stuff.
I tell you who you remind me of.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch the OC?
Yeah.
You're Ryan. You're Ryan from the OC, and you're a blue collar man in a white collar world. Just like
about rich kids. Nothing.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
I love that shit.
meeting Marissa, sticking up. I'm Seth, by the way. You're Ryan.
Yeah, you are Seth. Yep.
Yeah. And yeah, you're sticking up for me against fucking that dude who was supposedly 16, but he looked like he was 26.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's you, baby.
Yeah, I'm doing OC things over here. I'm 32 and I'm in the OC, and that makes sense because I think they were like in their 30s when they were acting in that show, so that tracks.
Sounds about right.
That first season was so good.
I'm going to put in a picture of Ryan from the OC in the thumbnail.
Yeah, I don't think I look like him. I look a little more like Sam Weaver right now.
No, you don't. You definitely don't look like him. But you have the Ryan hero story.
Yeah, okay, I'll take it. I'm gonna take the Panthers by 13 points because I will never put my margin over 13. Never, even if I think it's going to be 40.
This is the margin game, isn't it?
Yeah. So you said 20. Are you going to stick to that?
I'm going to stick to it.
That's fair. Although if you are going to go over 13, watcher, this is probably the game you can do it.
This is probably.
I'll let you do it. Man, I don't think I'm going to be able to watch that Tigers Dolphins game. That sucks. Next game we have got the Dragons versus the Storm. I don't want to waste too much time on this. The Storm are red fucking hot, coming off the win against the Raiders. Storm heard me say purple skid marks. That got to them, I think, and now we're having our own Christian Welch moment where like the Panthers had no one, and we're like, well, fuck.
Yeah. Well, sorry, is this live? This microphone?
This is live. Fuck, are these mics on? Holy shit! I didn't mean to say that.
Yeah.
Do you think Pappy comes back before the end of the season?
Well, I think so. I think he's a good bench role. But I do note that in the last week's game, they had Bronson Garlick start the game and Harry Grant came off the bench. Maybe that's either they're toying with that idea to keep Harry Grant fresh and because he tore shit up when he came on the field, or whether that's just maybe an opportunity to just give him a bit of a rest before finals. I don't know, because Pappenhausen's too good to be playing Queensland Cup.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he tore it up. He played a full 80 over the weekend, I believe, and absolutely tore it up.
Scored a try, 2 try assists, 127 meters. So he's getting form. There's no need to rush him. No need to rush him.
I think if it gets to finals and he hasn't played yet, I don't think you play him. I think Nick Meaney's been doing fine. Like the unsung hero of this year is probably going to be Nick Meaney. Just Just
Yeah.
probably don't. Like, I think you'd be sweet. I don't think the Storm can win the Prem. I wouldn't be surprised if they do. I don't think they can. But Nick Meaney shouldn't be he shouldn't be punished for having a really good season and more or less attributing to them getting to this spot.
Yeah, certainly. I think if they go deep in finals, I think Pappenhausen's probably like he's a bench player, and he used to do that a bit because I remember he used to get injured all the time, and at one point he was a good little benchy.
He's there, Jaden Campbell.
Yeah, but mind you, like if they're in a situation where they need a bit of Clint Gutherson X factor,
yeah,
maybe they bring Pappenhausen in. You just kind of mentioned it, like that they're not in the premiership race. If the Panthers didn't exist, if the Panthers weren't in the NRL, it opens up right up.
Exactly. Yeah, you're right. If the Panthers don't exist, it is probably the Broncos, the Storm, or the Warriors, maybe even the Knights right now.
Yeah,
like
they're in good form.
That 2 to 9, all of those teams can beat the other on any given day, except the Raiders.
For sure. Yeah, probably Raiders might be a bit of a pretender.
Not right now. Yeah, they're gonna get Raiders are getting absolutely fucking whipped right now. I know that for sure. They're getting whipped in training. My God,
dude, Ricky's punched all of them. He's fought them all. They've done the Royal Rumble in WWE where like they have to throw him all over the top rope. That's what he's done. He's set up a wrestling ring at training, and he's the first one in the ring, and a player comes in every 2 minutes like the Royal Rumble, and he has to throw him over the top rope, and he's done it to the whole team.
He's not even sweaty, and it's not in a stadium. It's on top of Parliament House on that grassy bit. You know how they have the grass.
Yeah, he's throwing him. He's won the Royal Rumble and he's challenging Roman Reigns for the WWE Championship in April. I'm tipping the Storm.
Yeah, me too. Next game. This is, memes aside, this is probably the game of the round. This is the game I'm most excited for when I was looking through the teams list this afternoon. The Knights versus the Rabbitohs. This is again sort of like mirror images of the Cowboys Sharks game. This is like, what are we doing with our season, boys? Are we going all the way, or are we just fucking pretenders? Are we here making up numbers, or are we going all the fucking way? Or what the two coaches are going to be saying to their respective teams in the sheds before this game. Who are you taking for this one, Matt?
Oh,
what are you doing?
Tough.
This one's
really tough because the Newcastle Knights are in really good form. I think they've won 6 or 7 in a row now, something like that. There was a bit of a fear in that Bulldogs game that Jackson Hastings had his season ended by a hip drop tackle. But he's been named, so which is good. They also got Bradman Best back. For the Rabbitohs, they're basically the same. I think they've got a slight change on the bench, but Newcastle are in good form, as I said. But there's generally matches between these two teams historically have been very high scoring, and generally the Rabbitohs win those. They put up like 30 to 40 points on the Newcastle Knights. But Newcastle are just different. But I just can't get that out of my head that I've seen so many games between Newcastle and the Rabbitohs where the Rabbitohs just fucking pound them into the core of the earth, points wise. But considering that, I'm going to go with the home side. And I'm going to go with recent form. Heading into finals, a lot of teams they're tuned. They're finely tuned, and I don't think a lot of stuff is going to change. So I'm going to go with the Knights to win by 6 points, but I don't feel great about it.
That's fair. I mean, like, look at this team. This team is good. The Knights team, like, this team is good. Gags, Dom Young, Bradman Best, Marju, Gamble and Hastings. I mean, if Hastings plays, but it looks like he is going to play.
The ugliest halves pairing in the NRL.
Yeah, ugliest halves pairing, but they've got it like they're a good dynamic to each other because Tyson Gamble is a fucking dog. And Jackson Hastings is a big fucking geek who loves the game. Perfect. What a perfect combination for your 6 and 7. Phoenix Crossland is handsome as all fuck. I'll give him that.
Looks like
he's probably the lowest out of this entire team. Like, it's like skill and quality wise, but what he makes up for it, he makes up for by looking like the quarterback from Remember the Titans. Remember that movie?
Oh yes.
Put him up. Phoenix Crossland. I mean, he's got a name like that.
Yeah.
The forward pack is good. Like, man, why didn't it happen sooner for the Knights? And like you said, they've tuned it. They've finally tuned it, and now they are humming at the perfect time. What is the Rabbitohs pack doing, really? Like, they've sort of like hodgepodge forward pack of Shaq Mitchell and I don't know. Who else sucks
Hodgepodge.
here? Yeah. Not really. That's unfair. Jacob Host, sort of hodgepodge. Like, yeah, Colin Matungi's good. Cam Murray's good. Damien Cook is old. He's getting
He is
old.
old.
He's getting
Game's
old.
gone past you, Damien.
Jay Arrow is good. What is this bench? Like, yeah, I think I also like the Knights. I picked the Knights before you finished speaking, thinking he's going to pick the Rabbitohs here, and I'm going to pick something different just to mix it up. And I think it is going to be the Knights here. I think I'm getting behind the Knights. I love it. I love when a shit team is good. Probably because I support a shit team.
Yeah, I think we also just love seeing a different top 8.
Yeah.
Let's mix it up.
What was the top 8 last year? Was it close to being exactly the same? The Wars weren't in there.
Yeah, Warriors and Knights were not in there.
It? No, the Sharks made the 8. The Raiders just made it, if I recall. The Doys were in there.
Yeah, let's see here.
Eels were in there. Roosters were in there.
And yeah,
Manly would have been in there.
Yeah, I think Cowboys. Yeah, Cowboys, Eels, and Roosters were in, and then Warriors, Knights, and maybe Broncos were out. Did Broncos miss it? I think Broncos missed it.
Broncos fell out. Yeah.
Yeah, so those are the three differences, which is a considerable difference, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, Broncos 9th, Raiders 8th, Rabbitohs 7th, Roosters 6th, Storm 5th, Eels 4th, Cowboys 3rd, Sharks 2nd, Panthers 1st. And that was, the regular season, obviously. Lions in 13th. Hey, look at that. We're in 13th again. How about that?
Yeah, let's go. We're not in the bottom 4. I'll take that.
Bottom 4. All right. That's enough about the Knights, Rabbitohs. Tip with your head with that one, boys. Tip who you think is going to win. Raiders, Dogs. I feel bad for the Dogs. I mean, at least the Titans have something to look forward to next year. What are the Dogs are getting Critter next year?
Yeah. I think they get Crichton and they signed someone else. I can't remember, but they lose Avarillo to the Dolphins.
Yeah. Let me look at this team. Team lists. No, not team lists. Hang on. Sorry, cut all this out.
Yeah. Well, while you're looking, I'll talk. So for the Canberra Raiders, the Milky Raiders, Jared Croker's back. So Ethan Strange, the debutant, drops out. They also put Tom Starlick and Schiller on the bench after getting destroyed by Melbourne last week. For the Dogs, they've lost Preston, suspended for that hip drop tackle on Jackson Hastings. So he's gone for 2 weeks, I think. So Waddell's the back rower. Sutton goes to lock. Luke Thompson goes to the bench. Also Faitala Mariner on the bench. Canberra have won 7 straight games against the Bulldogs, including a 4-point win back in round 10. I think the Bulldogs respond after getting whacked by Newcastle. I think generally when you get thumped by so much, you do lift a little bit. But Canberra also got thumped by Melbourne. So these two teams, both of the tails between their legs, both got thumped. One of these teams is still in the top 8. The other one is in 15th. So I'm going to go with the team in the top 8 here. I got Raiders waiting by 10.
That's probably fair. The players they signed, they recently signed 2 players who are sort of good, but not really.
Ooh,
we got
sort of
the weak-gutted dog himself, Jameis Salmon.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah. For 2 years, 24-25. And Blake Taff, 24-25 as well.
Okay.
So that's, and also just a little side tab here. Jacob Preston is signed for the next 5 years, which seems like a prudent signing. He's a good player.
He is really good.
Yeah. So yeah, and Critter is getting paid more than Matt Burton for the next 4 years, starting next year.
How much is he reportedly getting?
$825K.
$825K. Surely they're signing him as a fullback then.
Yeah, and Matt Burton is $650 this year, and then it goes $750 for the next 4 years, according to Zero Tackle. It looks like looks like a good spread of cheaply purchased players, to be honest. Like Gus keeps getting in shit for signing so many ex-Penrith players, but like no one's on $1 million. I'm not seeing any millies here. TPJ is gonna give up $750K next year. That's someone. Who's getting that TPJ money?
Yeah, good question. They've got some money to spend around. Let's have a look. Who's going to be their halves next year? Is it going to be Burton and Sexton again, or they got someone else?
I don't know. You'd take Burton and Jamin Salmon maybe, or is he more of a edge back rower?
Yeah, Salmon's not a starter. He's I'd say he's a benchy. Him and Blake Taff even. I think they're cover players.
Let me go to off contract here. Oh, we're in the weeds now, bro. Let's have a look. I'm going to take the Raiders as well. I don't know if I said that.
Yeah, it's to be expected here. Yeah, like I still got Kyle Flanagan. Actually, no, Kyle Flanagan's done at the end of this year. Yeah, it's probably going to be Sexton and Burton.
They're going to need. I'm just looking through the players who are off contract at the end of this year, trying to find a halfback. I'm not seeing anyone. Romeo Gregg is off contract. Spencer Leniu is off contract.
Yeah. Oh, Lenny is going to the Roosters.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, this might not be out of that. Yeah, it says Connor Watson's off contract, but I'm pretty sure he re-signed. Yeah, I'm not seeing a lot of halfbacks. Maybe Brandon Wakeham looks like he's off contract. Brandon Wakeham's a halfback, right? Mm-hmm. Yep, that's him. Yeah, it's looking like it's Sexy and Burton.
Yeah, I don't know.
It sucks to be the Dogs.
Another good year, but yeah. No, Raiders win. Raiders win that one.
Better than us. All right. Comments? Need to get off Wolfheart first person shooter. All right. Only a couple of comments. Only 4 really, and William Pearson is 2 of them. William, I love you.
Welcome back, William.
William Pearson writes, Storm will win. Thanks, bro. Thanks for letting us know. Appreciate that. Did you know how much it was going to be by, though?
Let us know.
Could have told us. Let us know. And he also wrote that the Raiders have won their last 5 matches in Melbourne. Okay, bro.
Yeah, well, not anymore, baby. Not anymore. Wait, you said you only like 4? I'm pretty sure Adam Grower left a comment.
You sure? Hang on. Oh, let me search by new.
I think because he swore. He swore because so it hit it.
Right. Yeah. Adam Guro writes, use our weird cunts. Haas gonna stay at Bronx. He just wanted more $sign.
And
yep. He's right. He was right. Jesus,
he was
Adam
right.
Guro. The broken clock. There he is, Adam Guro. Wow, good shit. Rugby League History writes, I think just the chip shop is a great idea. I'd love to come in there, get a battered cod. I'm okay with that. Battered sausage. I'm okay with that. Some chips. I'm okay with that. It's getting a bit much now. Mushy peas. Yuck. Vinegar. I'm okay with that. And a bit of curry sauce, bro.
It's very UK. Very UK.
Very UK.
They love their curry sauce over there.
Fuck would I want to put curry sauce on anything, dude? Yuck. Especially like chips. Like, do you have it on the side or do you have it like on it?
I wouldn't. Surely on the side. I wouldn't have it on it because that would just seem crazy. I assume dipping. Yeah. Do you think what do you think is the quintessential Australian condiment?
Probably
is it tomato sauce or is it
probably dead horse? Yeah.
Has barbecue sauce overtaken it?
I don't think so. No, I think but tomato sauce is too iconic, and barbecue sauce is sort of in the shadow all the time. And it doesn't help that it's a darker color.
Yeah.
But
I'll tell you what a sleeper condiment is.
What?
Aioli.
Yeah, garlic aioli down the pub.
Aioli has been popping up a lot. It's getting real common.
It has to be good though. It can't be like sometimes it's like a little too like there.
Like what?
Too tangy.
Like what?
It's too tangy there.
Oh, you don't like them tangy. Oh, you're so
I don't like
white.
it tangy. This is too strong. I don't like that.
Spicy aioli.
No. We're not serving curry sauce at our Just the Chip shop. History of Football writes, don't be talking about St. Helens like that. Come on, you Saints coys.
Yeah.
I appreciate the comment.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we were Benjamin was shit talking Justin Holbrook last week because he signed on with the Roosters as assistant coach, talking about how they used to coach St. Helens.
Mm-hmm.
But as we know, Ben doesn't get footy, so
doesn't get it.
Don't listen to what he says.
Don't listen to him. He's fine. Have you got a hypothetical for us this week, or have we talked enough shit?
Yeah, I'll come up with a hypothetical on the spot.
Okay, that's good.
My hypothetical is going to be It's going to be a sweet hypothetical.
Okay.
Okay, so you famously are engaged.
Mm-hmm.
If you got to pick the song that you and your partner Jess have your first dance to, what song are you picking? I think we may have spoken about this once before, but
it was probably a long time ago.
Long time ago. What's your first dance?
Only because I was listening to it in the shower before this to get pumped up. But just get the blood flowing. Give me all right. There was a thing in 2008 called Punk Goes, and they did a bunch of cover songs.
Okay.
And the album you're looking for is Punk Goes Crunk, and you're looking for I Wanna Love You by The Main. I was listening to that in the shower earlier tonight. I was like, you know what, this wouldn't suck as a wedding song. If we were both super alternative and covered in tattoos, this would suit. And it was in like a motorcycle shop or something, like an internal wedding in a factory somewhere. It would suit that.
Yeah. With like the exposed like pipes in the ceiling.
Yeah. Shout out to The Main. Shout out to that cover of, that I Wanna Love You. You already know. You know that song?
Yeah. Yeah. So is it like an actual like a pop punk like?
It's like
is it upbeat?
Yeah, it's a borderline hardcore cover of the song.
I see. Okay. All right.
Yeah. Great album.
Do you think Jess is going to go for that?
Oh no. No. I won't be allowed. You asked what I would pick.
That's right. Do you know what she's picking? Have you discussed it?
No, we haven't. No.
Are you going to have a first dance? Are you going to have the traditional?
I think so.
Thing?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. What are you going to pick? What's your
song? Know. I think I used to like Georgia on My Mind by Ray Charles.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that was a long time ago. But I'm not sure what I would pick now. A lot of the softer, slower songs I like are sad songs.
Yeah.
And they're not really suitable for the moment. I mean, I feel like. Do you feel like the Penrith Panthers of first dance songs, like the most picked first dance song is probably At Last by Etta James. At last. That's got to be the most picked.
Oh, I thought we were going to keep going.
My love.
Yeah, that's a good one. I always hate when it's a random song that I don't know. Like when I go to someone's wedding and it's just like, what is this song? Like, where did you pull this from? Like, it's just it sounds like someone's.
Really?
Yeah, like I've never heard it before. It just sounds like some fucking random shit that you accidentally download on LimeWire. I don't know.
It's something specific to the couple, and you're like, damn, this fucking indie crap.
Yeah, nah. Pick Hey Ya. Like, what are we doing here?
You can't have it. You got to. I think traditionally you got to take it slow. It's gonna be slow for the first dance, and then everyone. And then as you get more and more fucked up, then you hit him with the Hey Ya's. Fucking shout out to Axel's wedding, Axel and Yanni's wedding. Playing bangers at that wedding.
Yeah, towards the end they were playing more bangers. Like as we were walking out, I think I've said it on this show before. As we were walking out, they were playing My Chemical Romance. I was just like, "Fuck, where the fuck have you been all night, bro? Come on, read the room."
Me and my sister Cindy are on the fucking D floor, just going full Petropolis, embarrassing ourselves, not giving a fuck.
Yes, it was great.
Yeah, we tear shit up.
All right, Thummy.
Oh, recap. What are we tipping this week?
Fuck. Sorry. All right. We're both on the Sharks. We're both on the Waz. We're both on the Roosters. We're both on the Tigers. Wait, no, I might be on the Dolphins.
I think you might be on the Dolphins.
I'm on the Dolphins. We're both on the Panthers. We're both on the Storm. We're both on the Knights. We're both on the Raiders. Wow. What an exciting show.
It was so exciting. Yeah, it's just taken an hour for us to
for us to have the same decisions. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Now may we do a thumbie?
We may do a thumbie. Do you want to be Ryan and Seth from the OC?
How do we do that?
You're like, I don't know, tough guy throwing a punch, and I'm like, I don't know, reading a comic book. I don't know.
Hang on, let me get some images of him. I'll see if I can't whip something out.
It's gonna be me. This is what Seth from the OC looks like.
You always do. Okay, hang on. Let me take my hat off. All right. Oh, fucked it. Hang on.
You back? Oh yeah. Sorry, that face is getting all. Let me center myself. Yeah, there's something in there. Yeah, there's something in there.
You can work with that.
I can work with that.
Yeah. Do you want to take us out, Matt?
Oh, shit! Fuck.
Do all the heavy. Take us out? You do all the heavy lifting anyway. You might as well just finish it.
Okay, sure. Well,
you never get to do it.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning into another episode of Suck My Dick.
My dick.
I have been Mike. He has been Matt. We've both been Ben. Don't forget to tip with your head, not over it. Get circumcised. You all suck. I hate you. Leave a comment. We'll read it out.
Belittle you potentially.
Yeah, buy our merchandise.
Buy our merchandise that doesn't exist, but like save up the money so that you can afford to when it comes out. I guess that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Join with me always. Join with me as always t-shirts.
Yeah.
As well as our game of the round t-shirts. And suck my dick. I don't know. There'll be 3.
Do you want to take us out?
Yeah, do you want to take us out? Yeah.
Thank you everybody for joining us for another episode of Just the Tip. Thank you.
Yeah, goodbye.
Well, bye. What's when you're blocked up? What's it called?
Constipated.
Yeah, diarrhea or constipated? I was just like, well, sort of both in the same day.
Very good. It's coming out, but it's not coming out at the same time.
Yeah. I got the wasp for this one. I think the Manly Sea Eagles